Let's be real, folks. No woman chases the man who is always chasing her first. You think you're doing everything right, but you know the feeling. My friend, you send the first text, plan the dates, keep the conversation alive, and the moment you show how much you want her, she slows down, replies later, pulls away, and you are staring at your phone like a teenager, not a grown man. You tell yourself you are just kind, just honest, just available, but deep down you feel it. The more you lean in, the less she feels. I am not here to comfort you. I am here to wake you up, because there is a darker, quieter way to flip this script. There is a kind of silent, disciplined behavior that makes a woman think about you when you are not there, replay your words and wonder who else might be sensing what she senses. It is not about manipulation. It is about becoming the man whose presence changes the room and whose absence is felt in her body. When you understand this dark psychology through a Stoic lens, you stop begging for attention and start pulling it without effort. You stop chasing women and start living in a way that makes the right women chase you. Stay with me, because this is just the beginning. Let's get into it. Number 1. The mindset she can't resist. My friend, let me talk to you honestly. A woman never chases a man because he is nice, polite, predictable, or eager. She chases a man because of the mindset he carries. Not the clothes he wears, not the money he makes, not the lines he says. She is drawn to the man whose inner world feels different from every other man she meets. And if you understand this, you stop trying to impress women and start becoming the kind of man women feel pulled toward without even knowing why. Let me give you something real so this doesn't stay in theory. In Chicago, David, 56, recently divorced, feels insecure about re-entering the dating world. He meets Lauren, 51, at a local wine bar. She's attractive, sharp, confident. David likes her immediately and does what most men do. He tries too hard. He nods too quickly, agrees too easily, laughs too loudly. His energy says, "Please like me." And Lauren senses it. Her interest fades, even though she thought he was handsome at first. Because the mindset he is carrying is the mindset of a man who is hoping for approval, not one who already owns his presence. Now look at another moment. In the same bar 2 tables away, a man named Eric, 59, is having a calm conversation with a friend. He isn't loud, he isn't showing off, he isn't performing. He sits with a relaxed posture, steady eyes, the kind of energy that says, "I am comfortable in my own company." Lauren notices him. She doesn't even realize why. She just feels herself glancing back. That is the mindset she can't resist. A man who does not chase the room, but influences it by existing in it. Here's the part most men misunderstand. Women are not drawn to the man who tries to win them. They are drawn to the man who is centered, disciplined, emotionally contained. The man who does not react to everything she does. The man who does not fall apart under pressure. The man who does not seek validation like a thirsty teenager. In the dark psychology framework, she reads this as strength. In Stoic terms, it is called living on your axis. A man on his axis does not fold when a woman pulls back slightly. He does not panic when she takes longer to reply. He does not adjust his entire mood based on her attention. He has a core, a center of gravity, and that core is what makes a woman chase. Machiavelli wrote that people admire what is difficult to obtain and undervalue what is too easily won. Women feel this truth instinctively. If she knows she already has you, her excitement disappears. If she senses that your world does not collapse without her, attraction ignites. Let me paint it even clearer. When a woman meets a man who is not emotionally reactive, she wonders what is happening inside him. She wonders what he is thinking, what he is feeling, what he is doing when he is not with her. Curiosity becomes tension. Tension becomes attraction. Attraction becomes pursuit. This is how the chase begins. Not because you tried harder, but because you held yourself with quiet, masculine certainty. If you've seen this dynamic play out in your own life, type "I have seen this." Stay tuned, because what comes next builds the foundation for everything that follows. Number 2. The silent behavior that pulls her in. My friend, let me tell you something men rarely understand. A woman is not pulled in by what you say. She is pulled in by what you don't say. She is pulled in by the quiet, disciplined behaviors that separate you from the ordinary man who talks too much, reacts too quickly, and gives himself away before she has even earned a glimpse of his inner world. The man she chases is the man whose silence has weight, whose presence has texture, and whose energy makes her wonder what is happening behind those steady eyes. This is the part most men never master. They think attraction is built through effort, compliments, attention, and proving themselves. But in reality, the most powerful attraction grows in the moments you hold back, when you let space breathe, when you allow the interaction to slow instead of rushing to fill every pause. When you show her that you do not need to dominate the conversation or control the environment to feel significant. Your silence shows a kind of masculine authority that words cannot replicate. Stoic philosophy understood this centuries ago. Epictetus taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. A woman feels the presence of a man who lives this way, a man who listens deeply, observes calmly, and engages selectively, feels rare to her. She senses a depth she cannot fully read, and that unreadability sparks her curiosity. Curiosity is attraction's seed. When she can't predict you, she can't forget you. Another layer to this silent behavior is emotional control. A woman feels instantly when a man is centered inside himself. She notices how you respond to small tests, when she delays, replying when she teases you, when she creates a little tension just to see if you break. Ordinary men react. Rare men stay composed. Seneca wrote that no man is free who is not master of himself, and that mastery is exactly what she is searching for, even if she cannot explain it. When your silence is calm instead of anxious, she feels drawn in. When you do not rush to prove your interest, she wonders about your standards. When you do not flinch under her tests, she feels excitement rise beneath the surface. Here's something even deeper. Silent behavior creates contrast. When you speak less often, what you do say carries more meaning. When you reveal yourself slowly, every detail becomes valuable. When you pull back at the right moments, she starts leaning in without realizing she's doing it. This is where dark psychology blends with Stoic discipline. You are not playing games. You are simply living with intention. You are showing her that you are guided by your values, not your impulses. And don't confuse silence with disinterest. It's not about ignoring her. It's about not giving her everything up front. It's about letting her feel the space between your words. It's about letting her sense that you are a man with a private world, not a man spilling everything just to earn approval. A woman cannot chase a man who is fully exposed, but she will chase the man whose quiet confidence makes her feel something she hasn't felt in years: intrigue. If this message hits home for you, type "I want this." Stay with me, because the next part reveals why distance increases her desire instead of weakening it. Number 3. Why distance makes her desire you more. Let me break this down for you, my friend, because this is where most men get everything backwards. Women do not desire the man who is always available, always responding, always present, always eager. That kind of energy feels predictable, and predictable becomes invisible. What pulls a woman in is not constant closeness, but strategic distance. Not ignoring her, but giving her just enough space for her mind to start wondering, replaying, imagining. Distance, when used correctly, does not weaken attraction. It intensifies it. Let's make this real with a situation most men over 40 or 50 have lived through without even recognizing what was happening. In Phoenix, a man named Brian, 58, meets a woman named Michelle, 52, at a volunteer charity event. They talk effortlessly, share a laugh, feel that early spark. After the event, Brian does what most men do: he stays available. He texts often. He replies immediately. He mirrors her interest perfectly. And at first, Michelle enjoys it. But slowly, her excitement begins to flatten. Not because he did anything wrong, but because he removed the one thing that fuels female desire: anticipation. Now imagine the same moment, but handled differently. Brian and Michelle talk, feel the spark, share that small current of tension. But instead of clinging to the moment, Brian lets the interaction breathe. He sends one good message, then goes back to his life. He doesn't rush. He doesn't chase. He doesn't try to secure her interest with effort. His distance is not cold, it's composed. Michelle's mind starts to wander. What is he doing? Why hasn't he reached out yet? Did he feel the chemistry too? This is how desire grows through the unknown. And here's the important truth. Distance only works when a woman already feels something. If there is zero interest, distance does nothing. But when there is a spark, distance becomes the oxygen that makes it burn hotter. Human psychology is simple. We want what we cannot fully grasp. We crave what is slightly out of reach. We value what feels rare. A man who gives her space feels rare because most men are tripping over themselves for attention. You also need to understand how female imagination works. Women fall for a man in the spaces between interactions, in the quiet moments, in the pauses. When you step back, she doesn't feel rejected. She feels intrigued. She begins to fill those gaps with ideas, fantasies, projections. She starts remembering what felt good about you. She starts imagining what you might be like when she sees you again. The distance activates her emotional world, and desire is an emotional experience, not a logical one. Let's look at another example to make it even clearer. In North Carolina, Thomas, 61, meets Rebecca, 55, at a small local art gallery. They talk for 15 minutes, and the chemistry is obvious. But instead of hovering, instead of staying attached, Thomas ends the conversation with a warm smile and walks away gracefully. He doesn't linger. He doesn't push. He doesn't overstay the moment. And that exit, calm, confident, intentional, makes Rebecca think about him the entire evening. She felt something, and then he disappeared just enough for her mind to reach for him. That reaching is desire. Distance, when done with calm, masculine confidence, tells a woman three things. You are not desperate. You have a life outside of her. And you are a man she must earn, not a man she automatically receives. If you've ever felt a woman's interest grow stronger after you stepped back just a little, type "I have seen this." Stay with me, because what comes next will show you the exact power shift that makes her start chasing you. Number 4. The power shift that makes her chase. Let me tell you something important, my friend, because this is the point where everything turns. A woman does not start chasing a man because he is charming, handsome, or endlessly available. She starts chasing when the power dynamic shifts. Not dominance, not control. Power. The quiet kind. The kind she feels, not the kind you brag about. The kind that changes her behavior before she even realizes it. And that shift happens the moment she senses one simple truth: you are not waiting for her. Most men make the same mistake. The moment they feel a spark with a woman, they reorganize their entire life around that feeling. They start replying faster. They start checking their phone more. They start shaping their schedule around her availability. And without knowing it, they flip the dynamic. She becomes the chooser, he becomes the chosen, and desire collapses. But a different kind of man exists. The Stoics would call him a man on his axis. Marcus Aurelius wrote, that a man must stand straight, not straightened. In modern language, a man must hold his own posture, not bend into hers. A woman feels this immediately. When you don't fold, when you don't scramble for her attention, when you stay calm and keep living your life, the dynamic shifts back toward you. She is no longer the one evaluating you. She is the one trying to understand you. Here is what the shift looks like in practice. She starts paying attention to your rhythm. She starts noticing when you go quiet. She starts wondering whether you are talking to someone else. She starts adjusting her timing to yours. Not because you manipulated her, but because your self-control awakened something inside her respect. And respect, my friend, is the root of female desire. This power shift also shows up in how you respond to her tests. Every woman uses tests not to hurt you, but to measure you. A small delay in her reply, a playful tease, a bit of emotional friction. Most men react. They get anxious. They double text. They try harder. But the rare man does not move. He does not flinch. He does not chase the validation she is dangling. Seneca wrote that he who is brave is free. When you are brave enough not to react, she feels your freedom, and your freedom becomes the very thing she wants to possess. Another part of the power shift comes from what you don't offer. You don't overshare. You don't make her your emotional center. You don't replace your purpose with her attention. A woman is drawn to a man who chooses himself first, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. She wants to step into a life that already has structure, direction, and meaning. When she sees that you don't revolve around her, she starts revolving closer to you. And this is where the chase begins. Not when you pull away out of fear, but when you stay grounded out of strength. Not when you ignore her, but when you refuse to abandon your own center. If you're ready to go deeper into this dynamic, to understand the inner power, the emotional discipline, and the Stoic mindset that makes a woman chase you rather than the other way around, consider joining the channel membership. That's where I teach the mindset most men never learn. Let's keep going, because what comes next exposes the emotional trigger that makes her fear losing you. Number 5. How to trigger her fear of losing you. My friend, this is where the dynamic finally flips. A woman chases when she feels two emotions at the same time, attraction and uncertainty. Not chaos, not games, just the quiet awareness that you are not guaranteed. And the moment she senses even slightly that she could lose access to you, something powerful wakes up inside her. This fear is not negative. It is not manipulative. It is part of human psychology. We value what we're afraid to lose, and we chase what feels rare. Let me bring this into the real world so you can see how it actually works. In Florida, a man named Mark, 57, meets Danielle, 51, at a small outdoor concert. They click instantly. Mark is warm, confident, relaxed. Danielle is drawn in. But after 2 great conversations, Mark does something most men never do. He doesn't cling to the moment. He doesn't over-message. He doesn't try to secure her interest. Instead, he returns to his life. He goes back to his routine, his work, his gym, his friends. Danielle notices the gap, not coldness, just space. And that space creates one question in her mind: is he already wanted by someone else? That question is the spark of her fear of losing him. Here's the truth. Women do not fear losing a man who is fully available, predictable, or emotionally dependent. They fear losing a man whose presence feels valuable, a man who brings something into their life that not many men do. When she feels that the possibility of losing you becomes emotionally real. Another example so you can see the pattern clearly. In Oregon, Daniel, 60, meets Karen, 54, at a weekend book club. They sit next to each other, talk about travel, talk about philosophy, and the connection is natural. After a few days of light messaging, Karen notices something. Daniel is consistent, but not excessive. He replies thoughtfully, but not instantly. He shares, but not everything. He shows interest, but not dependence. That balance shifts something in her. She begins checking her phone more often. She replays their conversations. She wonders where he is, what he's doing, and who else might be talking to him. Why? Because Daniel has quietly activated her fear of losing him. Not through distance alone, but through value plus distance. See, distance by itself can feel cold, but distance combined with value creates desire. And here is what most men get wrong. They try to trigger fear of loss by ignoring her or acting aloof. That doesn't work. That just makes you seem insecure or immature. What actually triggers her fear of losing you is when you stay grounded in your life. When you show that your world is full, not empty. When she senses that she is stepping into something meaningful, not filling a void. Women don't chase the man who has nothing going on. They chase the man who could walk away and still thrive. And don't forget this, because it is the heart of the entire dynamic. A woman only fears losing a man she respects. Respect is built through how you carry yourself, through your emotional control, through your independence, through the way you respond when she pulls back or gives mixed signals. When you stay steady instead of folding, you create contrast. That contrast is what she responds to. Fear of losing you doesn't come from you disappearing. It comes from you being a man worth losing. If this resonates with you, type, "I want this." Stay tuned, because what comes next explains the exact masculine energy she can't ignore. Number 6. The masculine energy she can't ignore. My friend, let me break this down for you in the clearest way possible. A woman may like many things about a man, but there is one thing she cannot ignore: masculine energy. Not macho behavior. Not loud confidence. Not fake dominance. I'm talking about the calm, grounded, disciplined energy that only a man who knows himself can project. The kind of energy that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't seek validation, and doesn't crumble the moment a woman tests him. This is the energy she feels before she even realizes she's feeling it. It's the way you walk into a room with quiet certainty. The way you hold eye contact without trying to take anything from her. The way you speak without rushing or oversharing. The way your presence communicates "I'm good with or without you." Women sense this energy instantly because it stands in direct contrast to the ordinary man who over-explains, over-pursues, and overreacts. Stoic philosophy captured this long before modern psychology put words to it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man must remain unmoved by what he cannot control. Women respond to this. They lean toward a man who isn't pushed around by emotion, temptation, pressure, or uncertainty. A man who stays still while the world around him moves. A man who doesn't collapse into insecurity just because she takes a little longer to respond. This energy communicates something deeper than confidence. It communicates inner stability. And inner stability is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. It tells her you won't be shaken by her moods, her highs, her lows, or her emotional storms. It tells her you can handle her without losing yourself. That is rare, very rare. Another part of masculine energy she cannot ignore is restraint. Not emotional shutdown, not coldness. Restraint, the ability to feel something and not act impulsively. The ability to want her without chasing her. The ability to stay present without trying to prove your worth. Seneca said that self-control is the highest form of strength, and women can feel this strength even if you never mention the word self-control. Masculine restraint creates tension. Tension creates desire, and desire creates pursuit. When you don't give everything away immediately, your attention, your emotions, your availability, You create a space she wants to enter. Not because you're playing games, but because you're not operating from scarcity. You're not trying to win her. You're letting her feel drawn in. Another layer of masculine energy is purpose. A woman is deeply attracted to a man who orients his life around something bigger than romance. A mission, a goal, a direction, a North Star. When she sees that your world is moved by purpose, not by the need for female attention, she feels something shift inside her. She starts respecting you. And respect is the doorway to attraction. Finally, masculine energy shows up in how you handle yourself when she tests you. Women test not to break you, but to read you, to understand who you really are, to see whether your confidence is real or fragile. If you stay calm, if you hold your ground, if you respond with presence instead of panic, she feels the full weight of your masculine center. And that is something she cannot ignore, no matter how independent or confident she is. Drop a comment if this part hits you. Type, "I choose strength." Let's keep going, because what comes next reveals the subtle signals that hook her emotions before she even realizes it. Number 7. The subtle signals that hook her emotions. My friend, let me tell you something most men never notice. A woman does not fall for you because of one big moment. She falls because of a series of subtle emotional hooks. Small signals you give off without trying. Signals she picks up on instantly, even if she acts calm on the surface. These are not grand gestures, flashy compliments, or dramatic actions. They are tiny shifts in your presence, your tone, your timing, and the way you carry yourself. And when you understand them, you finally see how women get drawn in long before they ever show it. Let's make this real with an example that fits the life of a grown man. In Boston, a man named Chris, 58, meets Laura, 54, at an outdoor fitness class by the harbor. Nothing romantic is said, no flirting, just simple interaction. But Chris carries himself with quiet, steady energy. He listens when she speaks. He doesn't rush to fill silence. He looks at her with calm, grounded eyes instead of scanning the room. He speaks slowly, clearly, without forcing anything, and without fully understanding why Laura feels something. It's not fireworks. It's the first emotional hook. These subtle signals matter because women read energy, not words. They feel the way you make them feel, not the things you say. And a man who is calm, self-contained, and present communicates something rare, emotional stability. That stability is the first hook. Now let's look at another example. In Nevada, a man named Jordan, 60, meets Alicia, 55, at a community cooking class. He's not the loudest man in the room. He's not the funniest. But when he talks to her, he gives her full attention, not intensity. Not pressure, just presence. He stands with good posture, shoulders, relaxed voice steady. He doesn't over-explain or overshare. He doesn't force connection. His restraint becomes a quiet signal that hooks her emotions. She feels there is more to discover about him. That sense of there is more is irresistible. One of the strongest emotional hooks is unpredictability, but not chaos. Predictable men become invisible. Chaotic men become exhausting. But the man who is calm, clear, and slightly unpredictable becomes magnetic. When you don't show all your cards immediately, when you let moments breathe, when you allow some mystery to exist, she leans in emotionally and psychologically. Another subtle hook is selective attention. Women know when a man gives his attention to everyone, it means nothing. But when a man is friendly to others, yet becomes slightly more focused, slightly more engaged, slightly more present, when she speaks, that contrast hooks her. She feels chosen without being smothered. She feels noticed without being overwhelmed. And here's something men often overlook. A slow, intentional tone is a powerful emotional hook. Most men rush their words because they feel nervous or excited. But when you speak with measured calmness, she feels your presence through your voice. It tells her, you're not trying to impress her. You're simply being yourself. That authenticity is rare. She feels it instantly. Finally, the most powerful emotional hook is consistency combined with independence. When your energy remains the same, whether she texts fast or slow, whether she is warm or distant, whether she tests you or opens up, she realizes you are not moved by her fluctuations. That steadiness makes her feel something she doesn't feel, with most men curiosity mixed with respect. Drop a comment if this resonates with you. Type, "I feel this." Stay with me, because the next part reveals how controlled silence transforms into full-blown attraction. Number 8. How controlled silence turns into attraction. My friend, let me break something down that most men never fully understand. Silence is not the absence of communication. Silence is communication. And when used with intention, it becomes one of the most powerful forces in attraction. Not coldness, not withdrawal, not punishment. Controlled silence. The kind that comes from calm confidence, not insecurity. The kind that makes a woman feel something she can't logically explain. Women are emotional creatures, and emotion needs space to grow. Space needs silence. When you keep talking, chasing, explaining, clarifying, or flooding her with attention, you leave no room for her desire to breathe. But when you slow down, when you let moments hang in the air, when you don't rush to fill every silence with words, she begins to feel tension. That tension is not discomfort, it's intrigue. And intrigue is the precursor to attraction. Stoic philosophy understood this centuries ago. Epictetus taught that silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life, meaning silence is a sign of wisdom, strength, and emotional control. Women read this instantly. A man who can sit comfortably in silence is a man who is not begging for approval. He is not trying to win her over. He is not afraid of her reaction. His stillness shows that he trusts himself. That calmness becomes magnetic. Controlled silence also allows a woman's imagination to turn on, and her imagination is where attraction grows. When you pause before responding, when you give her space to reach for you, when you let her wonder about your thoughts, instead of explaining everything, she becomes curious. Curiosity creates emotional movement. Emotional movement creates desire. Most men block this process by oversharing, over-communicating, or over-pursuing. Another reason controlled silence works is because it shows you are not reactive. A woman will test you sometimes consciously, sometimes instinctively, to measure your emotional stability. If she delays a reply, gives a short answer, or pulls back slightly, the average man panics. He double texts. He explains himself. He tries to fix a moment that isn't even broken. But the man with controlled silence does not react. He gives it space. He lets the moment settle without forcing anything. Marcus Aurelius said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That calm mind is exactly what she feels when you allow silence to do the work for you. When you use silence with intention, something else happens. Your words gain weight. When you speak less often, when you reveal yourself more slowly, when you choose your moments rather than spilling your thoughts constantly, she pays more attention. Your voice becomes something she listens for, not something she tunes out. Silence gives your presence contrast, and contrast is deeply attractive. Controlled silence also creates emotional rhythm. Attraction needs rhythm, a rise and a fall. A moment of closeness followed by a moment of space. Not vanishing, not ghosting, just enough slowing down for her to feel the shift. This subtle rhythm makes her lean in. She starts thinking about you more. She checks her phone more. She replays your last conversation. She wonders what you're thinking. She imagines seeing you again. All of this is built from silence, not noise. Drop a comment if this part speaks to you. Type, "I know this." Let's keep going because the next part reveals the presence she keeps returning to even when she tries not to. Number 9. The presence she keeps returning to. My friend, let me tell you something honest. A woman may meet many men in her life, but she only returns to the presence of a very specific kind of man. Not the loud man, not the needy man, not the overexcited man. She returns to the man whose energy lingers after he leaves. The man whose presence feels calm, grounded, and quietly powerful. The man who doesn't chase her yet somehow lives in the back of her mind long after the conversation ends. And here's the part most men miss. She doesn't return because of what you say. She returns because of who you are when you are around her. Let me show you this with something real. In Ohio, a man named Stephen, 59, meets a woman named Hannah, 54, during a weekend hiking meetup. Their conversation is simple, weather scenery, nothing intense. But Stephen has that grounded, masculine presence. He listens without rushing. His voice is slow and steady. He doesn't brag. He doesn't overshare. He doesn't try to impress her. He is just there, fully, calmly. And after the hike, Hannah notices something. She keeps thinking about him. Not because he tried to win her, but because being around him felt different, felt peaceful, felt strong. That feeling is what she returns to. Women don't revisit men who create noise. They revisit men who create feeling. A man with a powerful presence communicates 3 things without saying a word. He is comfortable in his own skin, he does not need approval, and he does not revolve around a woman to feel complete. This is rare, and what is rare becomes unforgettable. Let's look at another moment so you can see the pattern clearly. In California, Daniel, 60, meets Megan, 55, at a small cooking class. They sit side by side, laugh a little, talk a little, but Daniel doesn't push for anything. He doesn't try to fill every second. He works with quiet focus. When he speaks, he makes eye contact. When he listens with real attention. He doesn't force charm. He doesn't rush connection. His presence is steady, warm, grounded. Later that night, Megan realizes she keeps remembering the way he made her feel calm, seen, but not smothered. She wonders what he's doing. She wonders what he's like outside the class. She wonders if he felt the same spark she felt. Her mind returns to him because his presence gave her something she doesn't get from most men: emotional ease mixed with emotional tension. That combination is addictive. And here's the psychological truth behind it. A woman returns to the presence that allows her to relax while still feeling drawn in. This is where many older men lose the opportunity. They either bring too much intensity, trying to impress, trying to secure interest, or they bring too much distance, making her feel ignored. But the man she returns to holds the middle line: calm, available but not eager, warm but not clingy, confident but not performative. This presence shows up in how you move, how you breathe, how you respond, and how you don't respond. It shows up in the steadiness of your tone and the ease in your posture. It shows up in the fact that you have a life, a real life, not just empty space waiting to be filled by a woman's attention. A woman returns to the man whose presence feels like both a mystery and a home. If you feel this truth in your own life, drop a comment and type, "I am ready." Let's keep going because the final part shows the moment she realizes you are the rare man she does not want to lose. Number 10. When she realizes you are the rare man. My friend, this is the moment everything you've done begins to show its impact. A woman doesn't call you rare because of one gesture, one conversation, or one perfect answer. She realizes you are rare when she finally sees the pattern of who you are. Not the performance, not the early impression, the pattern. And when she sees it clearly, her entire approach to you changes. A woman realizes you are the rare man the moment she understands that your value does not depend on her reaction. Most men crumble the second they feel interest from a woman. They start bending themselves, adjusting their tone, softening their edge, trying to preserve the connection. But you, if you have followed everything we've talked about, you stay the same man with her as you are without her. You don't inflate, you don't shrink, you don't pedestalize. That emotional consistency is the first sign of rarity. She notices it when she tests you, and nothing shifts. She notices it when she slows down, and you don't chase. She notices it when she pulls back, and you don't fall apart. She notices it when she gets in her head, and you stay in your center. This is when she starts telling herself almost quietly, "This man is different." She also realizes you are rare when she feels something she doesn't feel, with most men respect mixed with attraction. You've got to understand something. A woman can be attracted to many men, but she only chases the man she respects. And respect comes from the way you hold your own standard, the way you say no when you mean no, the way you don't beg for her attention, the way you don't treat her interest like a prize you have to win. She feels respect when she sees you living from purpose instead of seeking validation. Another moment that shows her you are rare is when she observes the way other people respond to you. Not in a showy social status way, but in the way you carry yourself among people. Calm, direct, collected. She sees how you move with intention. She sees how you speak without rushing. She sees how you treat yourself like a man who matters. And when a man treats himself with value, a woman recognizes that value long before he ever points it out. She also realizes your rarity when she senses that she cannot fully read you. Not because you're hiding something, but because you are a man with depth. Most men reveal everything within the first hour. Their insecurities, their intentions, their priorities, their emotional hunger. But you reveal yourself slowly, naturally, with patience. She can't predict you. That unpredictability, calm, controlled, grounded, is a powerful trigger of attraction. It makes her think, it makes her feel, it makes her return. And here's something subtle that speaks louder than words. She realizes you are rare when she notices her own emotional behavior shifting, when she finds herself checking her phone more often, when she catches herself wondering what you're doing, when she feels that small twist of tension if you take your time replying, when she realizes she is putting in effort, real effort, because she doesn't want the connection to slip away. This self-awareness is the internal confirmation he is not like the others. Finally, she realizes you are rare when she sees that your life is already whole. You are not asking her to fill a void. You are offering her a place in a world that already has meaning, purpose, structure, and direction. A world she wants to be part of, not because you need her, but because she feels elevated by being near you. That is when she stops evaluating you and starts choosing you. You've just learned the psychology behind why women chase, how distance creates desire, how masculine restraint shifts the power dynamic, and the exact behaviors that make you the rare man she doesn't want to lose. When you understand these principles, you stop chasing and start attracting from a place of strength and clarity. If you want deeper lessons, private guidance, and content I only share with committed men, consider joining the channel membership. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you never miss the next video. Thank you for watching, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow.